Okay. Well, hello, brothers and sisters of the Briar. Professor
Hey.
Jeremiah here,
And Three Rivers.
and welcome to 2024's Falcon Friday. So, the first Falcon Friday of the new year.
I'm glad you said all that, Professor. Yes, welcome. You
This
sound,
somehow ended up being my first smoke of the day. So, I'm not sure how, but that's how it ended up.
well, this isn't my first, I've got to admit, but I am smoking one of my Jack Hargreaves tribute pipes with the rusticated Dublin. And in it, as a tribute to Jack Hargreaves, I've got the Rich Dark Honeydew, which was one of his staples, if not his only tobacco he smoked, which is sun-cured tobaccos of fully ripe Virginias and Burleys and a casing of maple and honeydew. And a fine smoke it is. What have you got there, Professor?
Well, I'm actually looking it up.
Oh, well,
I've got some Newfoundland blend, which is from the Gatlin Burlier.
all right.
And I wanted to see what its makeup was here. I have an idea, but I don't want to misquote it. So I wanted to have a little bit better.
Well, earlier today, I was smoking some Ennerdale Flake, and unfortunately, I've got a taste for it now. It's so good. So I've had maybe three or five bowls today already.
So it says Virginia Burley, but it seems like there's some Cavendish in it, but I could be mistaken. You would think that they would have definitely put that in there. So it's from the Gatlin Burlier Newfoundland blend. It's very nice. I've only smoked it a couple of other times. I think once in the shop and uh, twice maybe after I first purchased it. And I was just digging around in my drawer and thought I would smoke something new today or a little different. So that's how I ended up with that. So I see trees in the waiting room, and we probably should get on without any further delay. I'm hoping that we're going to have a few more people join us today, especially this being the first Falcon Friday of the new year.
Yeah.
And if you join the room and I somehow miss you, just be a little patient. We have a waiting room so I can see the people who are coming in, and I will get to you. And
Um,
if you want to be a part of this meeting and did not get an invite, then send me an invite. I will put my email address up here for all to see, and you can email me and I will send you the link. And that way we can get you in and get you to be a part of today's Falcon Friday. The only
um,
thing you need is your Falcon pipe.
uh, while you get Chris into the room, I'm sorry, I've got just a minor challenge I've just got to deal with. I'll be 2 to 3 minutes. Please excuse me. Be
All
done.
right.
I do apologise.
Pipe tree. There he is.
How are
Welcome.
you?
Happy Falcon Friday to you.
Yeah, just loading up
Oh, yeah.
an
Very nice.
Alco International. Oh, it's an Alco Universal, which is the one they had before they was allowed to use the Falcon name.
Huh. Now, what year do you think that one's from?
I've no idea. I mean, it's still got the Falcon.
Okay. So it's probably, it definitely is a little newer then.
Yeah, someone else was using the name Falcon over here, and when they first brought it out, they had to change the name slightly, so they took the F off the front and the N off the back. And
Maybe we'll ask this a little later today when we got more folks in. I'm curious as to when they started putting the Falcon on the stilm date wise, because I mean I have an older one with no Falcon, and then the rest of mine all have the Falcon.
Well,
yeah,
hi Chris, good to see you.
How are you doing?
Behind this, yeah, Sylvia. If he hopefully he might be joining us, he would have that information to his fingertips over Alco and Falcon.
Yeah, I don't know what. I don't think they put the Falcon on every one of their pipes. So I got loads of stems which are just blank, you know.
Yeah,
it just depends when they can be bothered.
Yeah, I might be wrong here, Chris, and I haven't got access to it at the moment. But some of those I was talking about Alfred Wainwright.
Yeah,
who wrote those wrote and penned, and all the drawings for the Lake District. Was it 6 or 7 books he did on it particular? And I think I've seen Phil of He smoking his aluminium Falcon. It is a Falcon for sure. But
yeah.
I'm thinking I can't recollect seeing the actual logo on his pipe. But it is a Falcon. There's no doubt about that. 100%.
Oh yeah.
It's 7 books for the Lakewood District, and then it's 10 books for of total of the travel.
But as you said, Professor, you can read those books, and you don't need to go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, and it's so descriptive.
Armchair adventurer.
Yeah.
Well, talking of Alfred Wainwright, he used to smoke 3 nuns, and it was him along with C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien. I invested in some. I always remember back in the day, I thought this had Perique, and apparently when Bell's made it originally in Glasgow over 100 years ago, it started. I think it was Perique, and then British American Tobacco took over, and the product was then produced by Orlik. Would that be Denmark? Orlik. Anyway, at that stage, apparently they replaced the Perique with Kentucky. So they had these Virginias and then Kentucky, and I believe that's what McBaron actually produced today is Virginias and the Kentucky leaf. I'm not sure if there's any additives to it. Some kind of fruity note in there, I think, that I find. But when I've read reviews, everyone sort of comes up with different tastes and what they find. And I'm not good at that. I just know what I like. Down by your beds. Everything all right?
Crackers.
Whoa!
Welcome.
Not
You
wrong.
got cleaned up for the show today.
You look like you mean in business there, Ron.
If I can get it there.
Can you hear us, Ron?
Hello.
Hey, there we go. Rock and roll. You on a cup of mud there? That's a well-behaved dog. Is it a dog? What's that to your left, Ron? On the table.
Oh,
Yeah,
Right.
That's
Is
just
it-
his pipes.
they're pipe racks.
Oh, he's a pipe rack. Oh, right. Well, I've even seen it. I'm seeing other things in there now. I better shut up. Oh, mommy.
Into your cups. Mine's coffee.
Mm. But mine's H2O at the moment.
Well, I've just poured up my tea, so
Mm. That's the what did you call it, Professor?
the Lapsing Shushan.
Lapsing. Yeah, there's several companies that used to produce it that do not now. Providers in the UK here, but we have found one, and we're going to get some. You say the taste is a lot like Latakia. It was a reverend friend of yours, wasn't it, that recommended it?
Yeah, he gave me the first samplings, and I loved it. So it's so good. It's one of the few teas I don't put any honey in. I mean,
Yeah.
I just drink it straight as it is. So
And Twinings used to do it, or
Yeah. Well, that's it, Chris. There's a few now that haven't got the access to it. I don't think it's lack of demand. It's lack of product, I think. Unless it's too prohibitive to produce it now. I don't know. Cost-wise.
yeah, maybe they're missing some ingredient that they can't get a hold of.
Yeah, I know. I think we got some somewhere, and some Earl Grey. Which,
I used to drink a fair amount of Earl Grey, but then I don't know. I just kind of lost the taste for it. I don't know why, but
Bowen do tobacco Earl Grey.
Tobacco Earl Grey.
Yeah, it does taste of Earl Grey.
And who? Sorry, run that one past me again, Chris. Who provides it?
Bowen.
Who?
Bowen.
Bowen.
You know, they make pipes in Germany.
But to get some and give it a try.
Yeah, I had some from the pipe show a couple of years back. But the bloke who left it there, I don't know who he was. He was a German bloke who he's been to a few of the pipe shows, and he always leaves loads of samples about for people to have. But who he is, I'm not sure.
Ron?
Yes, sir.
Is that a genuine Stetson?
Yeah, it's I don't know what it is. It's 100% wool felt. Made USA.
There you go. Well, I've got an Orvis, which I use as my river hat, which is made in the States. You know, original Orvis. You know, I think they're farming out some of the production these days. Well, it suits you, sir, very much.
No, thank you.
Have we got anyone in the chat room, Professor?
Truck in Canada or Turk in Canada.
Hmm. Well, he joined us in the chat room last time. I mean, I can't see it here, but I did go back and check.
He's a pair. Oh, and Backcountry Pipe. He said sorry he couldn't join. He's tied up with work, but currently listening in, and he may be able to join before the live is over. You know, I mean, when somebody says that they're tied up with work, you know, I kind of like think, you know, like he's maybe special ops, and you know, he's right now, you know, interrogating a terrorist or something.
Yeah.
He's like, got us on the side over here.
I'll make you listen to them
Like,
more
I'm
if you
a
don't.
little busy, but I'm listening.
Just stretch the rack a bit more. Yeah. Well, I was hoping Rambling Jan might have joined us today. But
Yeah, I think I had him in. It's a long list of folks I sent it out to, so we'll see. You never know who will join.
well, I unfortunately, indirectly, I think I insulted him.
Uh-oh.
Well, you were there because I said there's two Toms into the film actors. One's Tom Hanks and the other one's Tom Cruise. No, I think if anyone wants to be one of those, so they probably want to be Tom Cruise, wouldn't they? And he's a dead ringer for Tom Cruise, but I didn't say that at the time. I got confused and I said, you know, you look just like Tom Hanks. And he looks like somebody hit him on the back of the head with a baseball bat for about 2 minutes. He said, well, no one's ever said that to me before. So, and I said, Tom Cruise, oh, my dad gets that as well. I think I won't say anymore. I won't say he's probably Tom Cruise's love child. I won't say that.
He's probably taller than Tom Cruise. He's a short.
Oh, hold on. Everyone's taller than Tom Cruise. David probably knows Tom Cruise. We better shut up.
Got another one coming in here.
Mm. Who opened the proceedings to Falcon Friday's back episode? Piping. Oh. Intermodal racing cars. Oh, sorry, my brain. I'm on tablets at the moment. It's just throwing me. But I'm glad David's going to join us.
Yeah, we've got David coming in.
Yeah. That's Twinings. That sounds too strong. So Twinings still do it.
Oh, they still do it, do they? Well, I can get that.
Yeah.
And see, it says distinctively smoky.
Oh, yeah.
How about that?
Well, the shares will be going up in Twinings now, Twinnings.
Yeah. I shall put in for my royalties.
Mm. So what are we smoking there, Ron?
Let's see. It's Kindle Gold.
I missed the first word. Oh, right. I'll be whipped for not getting Kendall.
Mm.
Yeah, it came from Winston's over there in Fort Smith, and said it is named after their dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
I thought it was one of Gareth Hogarth's.
Churchill's. Of course, he's an English bulldog.
Well, I'm on Gareth Hogarth's Rich Dark Honeydew, which is I've saved the last of it. Just got a couple of bowls left for this meeting.
Mm.
You say an English bulldog. I think I told Steve this. I really wanted an English bulldog after the dachshund passed away. And I went to this pet expo. It's supposed to be exotic pets, but I thought, well, they might have some English bulldogs, and they did. But on one side of the arena of the pet show, they had English bulldogs, and on the other side, they had baby kangaroos. And seeing that I have a Belgian Malinois, I already had the kangaroo part covered. And so the wild thing was, it was the same price for a baby kangaroo versus an English bulldog. And it's not that the baby kangaroos were cheap. It's that the English bulldogs were way too expensive. They wanted 5,000 US dollars for an English bulldog. So
Ouch.
needless to say, I don't have one, and I'm not going to get one of that price.
They have breathing difficulties. You know, every kind of dog has its issues, you know, whether it's bred for a particular job. And they suffer with their breathing. So, you know, you've missed a bullet there.
Yeah.
I think so. The kangaroo, you could have sent it down south for our mate.
Oh, I'm sure he's got enough of them.
I probably have that. Yeah, them and Matildas, he's got loads of them.
I was just thinking I would have had like a, tobacco pouch.
Yeah.
What, on a lead? I don't know why, but I just got a picture of that film, Harvey. You know, the White Rabbit. Yeah. That was my dad's most favourite film of all time. And he grew up with, with so many of the black and whites and 30s. But that, was it Gary? Who was the lead?
That's Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart. Oh, he played the part so well. It's a timeless one of those, isn't it? It's a classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call it? A busker? A pushka? Pushka? The rabbit?
I don't remember.
You having trouble there, David? Maybe the satellite's not got over California. Don't know.
Or the tsunami might have got them.
They probably discovered Zoom's barbecue in California.
No, normally he has a lunch break, and that's when he gets.
He may have to restart. Yeah, it might be if you drop out and come back in, it may open you back up. Sterling says, "Afternoon, gentlemen. Another millennial pipe smoker here. 2 questions. If you have never had Peterson pipe before, or if you've never had a Peterson pipe before, which model would you recommend?" Now, I'm going to defer to Three Rivers because I think you kind of have the Peterson mark. Well, okay. I can't say cornered because I'm sure.
No, I've got.
Yours probably has a couple of hundred, but.
Well, I'll keep it brief. Petersons have been around, is it 1865? So they know what they're doing. I've got pipes from Peterson I bought back in the late 60s with and this is one of them, with what they call the P-lip, which deflects the smoke into the roof of your mouth. But again, I'm just talking about dogs. Think about your lifestyle. Where are you going to smoke it? How do you feel comfortable with a pipe? Do you grip it? Do you want a jaw hanger, what we call a jaw hanger? And that would take you. I mean, I recommended before Savinelli, along with Peterson's, as being a good investment. And the Peterson, if you're going to start off, I would say something like a 120 Peterson Donegal Rocky 120. Again, you'd probably talk about $60-70. But it's a good pipe. You could be coerced in buying a cheap pipe. I'm not saying they'd be bad, but these have got a reputation of being a good pipe. And Lars on the German channel, he's just got a new Peterson he's delighted with. But what do you think, Chris? I mean, you can't really go wrong with a Peterson, can you?
No,
No,
I haven't had a bad one yet.
no, I haven't. You do get some with filling in, but hey ho, you know, I think most pipes, you know, you will find that if you, but they will accommodate the price accordingly. But I would say something like a Donegal Rocky 120 or a 999, which is that shape. Again, a Donegal Rocky. They're very elegant pipes.
Yeah.
And I think these are around about, at the moment, around 70, 80 pound sterling. But they're good investment. I can go back late 60s and they're still good smokes. The numbers have rubbed off, the stamps have rubbed off. But anyway, that would be my opinion. Something along, not too expensive, middle of the road, Peterson, do you good.
I would show mine, but it's in the cabinet in the hallway. But
Well,
um,
as
the
you
thing
know,
that-
I've got most of mine secondhand, sir.
the
Yeah,
thing
but-
the thing with the one that I have, I tend to use it because it does have the P lip. So it's the difference is for
Yeah.
Steve can probably show you one.
I was going to say, this is a fishtail. On the Donegal Rock, it's a fishtail, a more conventional lip on it.
You don't have a P lip.
Oh, yeah, this has a P that I just showed.
Well, what I was going to say is the difference with the P lip is it puts the smoke more in the roof of your mouth than on your tongue. And so, you know, if you.
The hole is on top. Oh, sorry, it's on top there. And it does have quite a barrier, so you can literally hang it off your teeth onto your chin. It's convenient.
So if you, and I may even shoot a video, maybe even later today on this, because I had somebody ask me this question yesterday. But, you know, with it, putting the smoke in a different part of your mouth, and especially not on your tongue, you're not going to suffer tongue bite. So I had somebody ask me yesterday, what was tongue bite? And, you know, it probably, if you're asking it, it's maybe never really happened to you. But of course, it's really just when your tongue's getting burned or, you know, getting aggravated by the smoke. And so it's a rare day that I get tongue bite, but it will happen if I've smoked many bowls, and especially many bowls of a heavy aromatic. I'll get a tongue bite. And it happens if you're smoking fast. If you're smoking real fast, you'll get tongue bite. So the thing is if you're still wanting to smoke, but you are kind of concerned about getting tongue bite, or you have a particular tobacco that gives you tongue bite, smoke it to P lip. It's going to put that smoke somewhere else in your mouth, and it won't happen. But anyway,
just by the by, just a little aside. You were talking. I tell you what, David, you just don't look as though you're just on your lunch break night now. he's on holiday. You talked about oh crikey, what was that other tobacco you sent me original? Captain Black.
Captain Black, yeah.
You tell me the worst ever Captain Black that never ever dries out. You were talking about the other day.
That's Black Grape.
Correct. And one of our brethren over in the UK was kindly sent Trucking Piper Bob, and he was so politically correct in his description of the tobacco as not to say, God, this is disgusting. He didn't say that. He just, I don't think I'll be buying this or using it again. So stick away from grape.
Well, I'll say this. If you like grape Kool-Aid and you ever wanted to smoke it,
yeah,
Captain Black Grape's for you, because that's exactly, or another person described it as like, now this may be only the American market here that's familiar with this. I don't know that you had this in the UK, but Hubba Bubba chewing gum.
Yeah.
And it is Hubba Bubba chewing gum.
Big bubble, no troubles.
If you were looking for a middle of the road tobacco, if someone asked me, so not an overripe aromatic, not a heavy Gareth Hogarth, adult tobacco, I would probably steer him in, is it 1882, fourth generation, Eric Stokeby. It's in English. I've just seen your twin, Dave.
Yeah.
He's on holiday. I hope he sends you a card.
I hope so too. He's expecting a more exciting place than where I'm at.
Yeah,
I mean, it looked like you were on vacation, but behind you was a fence, so it looked like you were on vacation at the border.
Yeah,
That was some people coming over.
That's probably true. In California here, they're pouring them in. But yeah, that was actually a picture I took while taking a walk at my place of employment. So I sometimes go on a lunch break. So I took that picture, and that's what showed up as my my profile pic. So I had to switch from my MacBook to my iPad. So my iPad's working fine. My MacBook would not let me unmute or show a video. So anyway, I had to give it a shot again.
I thought MacBooks weren't supposed to ever have any problems.
I thought so too. I've never connected with that particular one. It's fairly new, but yeah, every time I got on there, it said unmute video and start or unmute audio and start video, but I'd click away and nothing would happen. So went back to the trusty iPad this morning.
Well, I was just saying 1882 is probably a medium, middle of the road tobacco that you could try. And if you feel that's a bit strong, then come down a bit. But if you ask your tobacconist, what's he going to say? Cherry, black cherry. Everyone seems to start on black cherry, and I don't know if that's a good thing.
It makes you wonder if these, I know I've said this before, it makes you wonder if these tobacconists don't want you smoking, because that is one of the worst things you can put somebody into right out the gate. And I never understood it. And I've been standing in tobacconist shops, and young people are in there selecting their first pipe, selecting their first tobacco, and they do the thing where they're opening up the jar and smelling it. And then they get to the chair and this is the one I want. And the tobacconist just goes on ahead and serves it up. And if I'm standing there, I suggest to them, now most people know what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to suggest to them vanilla custard.
Yeah.
Because it's the room note's going to be very pleasing, that the smoke's not going to stick to them. It was the same thing with the gentleman yesterday. He was wanting to get some more tobacco, and he couldn't remember the name of it. And he said, smoking the vanilla custard, that it's not like he's been smoking when he leaves. It's not sticking to it.
I agree, but where's this gentleman come from? Because you can't get that in the UK.
Oh, he's here locally.
Oh, is it? Well, there you go. He got it then. Vanilla custard. And I can concur on what you sent to me. And Mrs. Three Rivers loves the aroma of it. And I've still got the empty bag that you sent me in my drawer here, which I have a good sniff at now and again.
You kind of let her smell it every now and then.
Yeah. No.
Says, I have a headache, and you're like, well, let's smell this bag.
Dave, I've got to apologize. I've been calling you Michael for 3 months.
That's okay. I'll enter.
It could be worse. I know.
That's right. Could be worse.
When you go on the chat room, it says, Cal Piper. I said, "Oh, Michael." And you're probably thinking, who the heck's he talking to,
I'm easy to get along with. That was fine.
Like me. Yeah, I get called all sorts.
I will go back and say Sterling had another question too. So he said he'd like to hear a discussion on preferred Virginia tobaccos. So he said his family's farmed tobacco since 1750 in North Carolina, and they strictly grow Virginia bright leaf. So I don't know bright leaf. I know gold Virginia leaf. I'm not sure much about bright leaf, but I'm not the expert on Virginia tobaccos, but Chris or Ron, y'all might be.
Not me.
No.
No, I'm a Latakia man, usually.
And I'm more Cavendish and Latakia as my real favorite blends.
Well, my brain is not good at best at times, but Bowls and Cut Plug, I think it's a good, but that's a beautiful tobacco. But it's the additives that go in there from as a Lakeland with the roast geranium and the cloves. But it's pure Virginia. There's one I've never tried, and that is Samuel Goworth, Virginia. I've never smoked it yet.
Well,
But I see
a few years ago, a tobacconist, again, not to be beaten down tobacconist today, but a tobacconist kind of ruined Virginias or strong Virginias for me. And it's because we opened up a fresh tin and I, for just a split second, said, "This is a familiar smell." And he said, "Heinz 57." And that ruined it right there.
yeah. Well,
I
I've
mean,
been
and it was funny. I just last Friday, I happened to pop in to oh goodness, now his name's leaving me. Chad, right? I popped into one of the chats and they had just mentioned my name, the Ninja Piper. You know the Ninja Piper. He had just said basically that I kind of ruined some of the Virginias because I mentioned that.
Who does Sterling supply to? Does he have any customers that we might know of, the major producers of tobacco?
Yeah, I wonder if they're going. I would say most of those Virginians are going for cigarettes. Most of probably the bulk. I don't know. We'd probably have to ask Brian Levine this question, but I would say the bulk of tobacco farmed throughout the world is going for cigarettes, not for pipe tobacco.
Well,
he says R.J. Reynolds. He answered your question just like
right.
That. I thought we had more of a delay than that. That's fast.
Well, I've been smoking.
It most likely would be cigarettes.
Yeah, but Chris, have you smoked? And probably you have. Ennerdale.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I like
that's yeah, me too. I've been got a tin there and racing through it, unfortunately. But that's predominantly Virginia leaf from not California, but Brazil, Rhodesia, and Malawi. That's 86%. But then there's an addition of sun cured Malawi, 10%, and then there's 4% of burley. So they carry the flavors, and it's kind of an almond taste, but it's a beautiful tobacco. So burns so well, goes in the pipe so well. Yeah, Ennerdale, a Gareth Hogarth flake. Apparently, to my smoking shop, it's the best-selling. It even outsells Condor and St. Bruno as a flake from their shop. Yeah.
You mentioned California. They grow any tobacco in California? I'm not aware of it. I'm surprised our governor would allow it.
Your current governor, probably not. Maybe if you get the old Terminator back in there.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
I'll be back.
But you would think that it would be a good, I'm just going to say, I would think that it'd be probably good for growing tobacco. But because in Africa, I grew the Gold Virginia, and I was trying to just grow anything. I was growing all kind of different, plants, and the three things that grew the best on my farm was my corn and peanuts and tobacco. And tobacco, I mean, it was amazing how well it grew. But I, as the missionary, I had a tough time explaining growing tobacco. So
Yeah.
I didn't put that in my missionary updates. But it and when some of the villagers recognized what it was, I was like, oh yeah, this is a herb.
I was late to the party this morning, but what are you guys smoking in your pipes?
I have some Newfoundland blend from the Gatlin Burlier
Ah, nice. Very nice.
and Dread Eye Tiger. I don't know if he's watching, but he also has a channel, and he is the manager of
Yeah.
the Gatlin Burlier. So somebody worth checking his channel out if you
Yeah.
haven't.
Wonderful channel. Very good channel. Yes.
We also had Graham popped in. He said, "Love the videos. Got my first Falcon pipe, and just after the new year, haven't sipped on it. Let's see." He said he's got some Peter Stokely luxury Navy flake.
Oh,
He said,
Nice.
"Looking forward to a new pipe and a new smoke." And that's I need to pull it out. I've got some Navy flake or I've got the bullseye flake, but I think I got some Navy flake somewhere in there.
Yeah, I just got a tin of Escudo Navy Flake and some Royal Yacht, a couple tins of that, and
oh, that's a fine tobacco.
Yeah,
And Sterling answered. He said 90% cigarettes and 10% of their tobacco goes to pipes.
wow.
So well, there you go. And then he says, "Oh, and Gold Virginia is what we grow. Broadleaf is the process." Okay. Well, I found Gold Virginia when that did the best. There was a Havana leaf that I grew in Africa, and I think it would have been good, but I didn't really know how to harvest it. And it seemed like the Havana leaf, I should have just the entire stalk. But with the gold leaf, I was harvesting it leaf for leaf. I would just walk down through the row, and I would just cut the leaves off as they were maturing and string them up and hang them in the house. That was a mistake too. Should have hung them in the barn, but but I hung them in the house, and the only reason I said it was a mistake is it was super earthy. It was like having this. It didn't stink, but it just had this overwhelming smell of freshly turned soil, and just I mean it was pretty strong.
Yeah, I'd like to try some of that too. I'd have to go to my flower beds, though my wife probably wouldn't approve. So,
Oh, they have a nice little flower on them. So,
well, maybe I'll give that a shot. That'd be kind of
but
nice.
you can just tell her it's an ornamental flower.
That's right.
I will say when the flowers really started appearing, I always cut them off of all but 2 plants because that takes a lot of the energy out of your leaf.
Oh,
and
true.
You'll have a lot of little shoots that are coming out the sides of the stalk. You also want to cut those off because you don't want to be losing any more energy for your leaves. So
Right.
you get a nicer, healthier leaf, if you're kind of cutting off all the extra growth. That's what I found. But of course, Sterling would be the expert. I was just playing at it. But my leaves turned out good. I still have a little bit of tobacco left.
Nice.
There's a country, Bhutan, and call it tobacco leaf, just grows wild there. It's everywhere, but it's cannabis. Yeah, it just grows wild. I'm on the Gareth Hogarth Rich Dark Honeydew, which Jack Hargreaves used to smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Which is described as sweet, rich mixture combines the natural sweetness of sun-cured tobaccos with fully ripe Virginias and Burleys. The casting and top flavors include maple and honeydew.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
And this has been going a long time.
Now,
it was Gallagher's originally, wasn't it, Chris? But it's now Gareth Hogarth.
Yeah.
But they've changed the name to Rich Dark Spring Dew, so the kids don't think they can put it in the tea, honey, or spread it on toast.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'd like to try to find some American version because I know we can't get the honeydew. I don't think in the States here, but I'd like to find equivalent.
Speak to the professor. He's got a honeydew mixture there.
yeah, from the Country Squire, they have a honeydew.
Oh, good. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
I'm smoking some Cornell and Deal chocolate Cavendish this morning.
Right.
A mega bowl Falcon.
Whoa, there you go. Let's measure our bowls. And there we go.
A little older.
All right, I'll be
Universal.
I'll be in the back of the shower. Yeah, happy days.
Oh, it's a bit cold there in England.
It is, yeah. Oh, we almost had a frost last night. We didn't, but we almost.
Not near this pipe it ain't cold. Why? Red hot. Mind you, the tobacco I'm smoking is a little bit dry because it's from the 50s or 60s.
John 316 wanted to know about Red Virginia. I, as I say, Virginia's a little bit out of my league. I can't tell you a whole lot about them, but maybe
that's what I'm smoking.
Whose makes that?
Godfrey Phillips.
Well, you've got me. I have no idea.
Wow, how old is that tin tree?
50s, 60s.
Wow.
Is it a London maker?
Hang on. Let me have a look. Don't think it just says made in Great Britain. They don't. I don't even think Godfrey Phillips is about anymore.
Hey, I just wanted to put this up real quick from for anybody who's interested and maybe hadn't seen our show before, and just wanted to give a shout out to my smoking shop, or it's Steve's smoking shop.
Yeah.
And they have the Falcon extra straight stem with the Falcon Dublin rustic bowl, and it's the Jack Hardgraves tribute pipe. So if you're interested, that is one to jump out and purchase. And Steve, I guess they've sold quite a few now from our.
Well, they've been out of stock. They're back in stock. They cover 80% of Europe, and they cover North America and Canada. So, and there's a number, and you've had Mark on earlier, Backcountry Piper. He got one from my smoking shop. But there we go. Ron, Billy Bud. Billy Bud. He sounds like, go on, tell us all about it. It's just so iconic name, Billy Bud. Is it named after some kind of notorious outlaw?
It's Sailor Man Jack came up with this blend, and it's from one of the musicals.
Yeah,
Benjamin Britten. Sailor.
Benjamin Britten, isn't it?
So Ron,
blend.
How do you like it?
I like it a lot. I ordered a pound of it.
Oh, wow.
Well, that answers that.
I went and said, my dog wanted outside, and I left my pipe in here. And then I came back in after she was done. And then I looked in the bottom of my shoes. The root note is not friendly.
Well, the description on this tin says can't see for a blend of Virginias and other choice tobaccos. Not a hint of what they are, just other choice tobaccos.
I was going to say, Sterling gives us some great advice here, or breakdown. He said Red Virginia is the top part of the plant. And he says, so the leaves can be described as red, orange, lemon, gold, bright, etc. He said the bottom leaves of a Virginia tobacco plant are bright yellow and gold leaf, I guess. And then orange are the mid leaves and red is the top. So there you go. I thought it was a whole different plant.
Can he not join us? Can he not join us in the forum?
How old?
Oh, he should join us. Join us if you can. If I put my email address up at the very top of the chat, if you scroll up there, I can put it in, and then I can send you the link if you want to join.
Ireland used to grow tobacco in the forum.
How old?
Oh, he should join us. Join us if you can. If I put my email. Oh.
Sorry about
I was like, who's that?
Was that Michael did that, was it, Dave? Is that
Yeah,
naughty
yeah.
Michael?
He's a bad sort, I'll tell you.
Is that the one? Is that the brother who's on holiday?
Yeah, he's rubbing it in on us, I think.
Oh, just said on the telly that David Soul died.
Oh, yeah, I saw that this morning. 80 years old. Yeah. Yeah. Boy, 80 used to sound so old, but when I turned 60, it didn't sound so old anymore.
I still feel like I'm about 20.
Yeah, mentally, I do too.
Oh, Chris, I felt like a 17-year-old this morning, but I couldn't catch it. Sorry. So how do you like that tobacco, Chris?
It's good.
Hmm.
It's got a really distinctive smell to it.
Did you need to rehydrate it?
No, I didn't. I'd pack the bowl and then use the hot breath method on it because I rehydrated some I had a few years back, and I'd left it about a week between smoked, and it had gone mouldy. So I've left it dry and just do it as I do it. I ain't gonna risk because the odds of finding another tin of this stuff is,
Probably nil.
Yeah, car boot fine.
Do you find a lot of older tins, unopened tins at the car boots?
I have found a few, but not as many as I'd like to.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, this Edgeworth, if you saw my last video, I mean, it's amazing. And I tell you, if I could find a tobacco that was this good, I would buy it. But I think most of it's just because of its age. I think it's just turned into something completely different. And and you really wouldn't be able to find it.
The aroma on this is beautiful. I couldn't tell you what it smells of, but I ain't smelled another tobacco like it.
I'm going to come back to you about this Billy Bud. You say it smelled like something was on the bottom of your shoe.
Yeah, after I thought I saw something in the yard after the dog had done its business.
But it tastes all right.
It's a heavy Latakia blend with rough cut early, bright Virginia flake, and a good amount of rough cut cigar leaf.
That might be
I was warned off from it. I was about to buy some a while back, and I was kind of like, yeah. And so I didn't get it. But I might try it. Just I hate to buy a whole, I hate to buy a whole thing of something that I don't really care for, though. And
you got to get a sample if you can. Just to let you know, gentlemen, I'm just changing bowl and pipe. It's still a Jack Hargreaves, but with the Dover rusticated bowl, which I've seen something similar is smoked. That's Jack Hargreaves, and in it I've got some Ennerdale. So this is what I've been chooching on, as you say, most of the days. And I thought, well, this will last me a week. Not. It is good. And who have I got to blame for this? This recent purchase was Edward Hobbs.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
He was smoking this at some stage. I'm going to get some more of this, he says. So there you go, Edward. Your fault. Oh, Timber Drifter was smoking some Navy, and I'm not sure if it was Stokeby, which I did talk about the Gareth Holgarth Navy Flake, which I hadn't smoked for a couple of years. This is the old tin. I've just got another tin of this now because I remember I did enjoy it, but I started going on this journey along with the rest of the YTPC, sampling this, sampling that. But I've come back maybe to about 10 or 12 tobaccos now. But I did enjoy that Merry Monk, Professor. I think, is it, everything I've heard coming back has been positive. People have tried it. And talking to Timber Drifter, he was going to get some. So I'll be interested.
Of new blends, and I say new to me blends, it is the best English I think I've smoked. And I really, Old Professor was always a favorite English blend of mine, and I still smoke it, but I pretty much nowadays I smoke the Merry Monk. It's incredible. And I can only say that because I have several tins of it now stored up. Because once I liked it, I was like, before I even would talk about it to anybody, I wanted to start buying some up because I was afraid that it could suddenly sell out. Because it did sell out the first. I bought 2 tins of it and I liked it, and I went to buy some more and it was gone. And so then I was like, I'm not even gonna say anything to anybody. And a couple of weeks later, I saw it was back in stock. So then I bought several tins of it.
Well, you said you even put it above Frogmorton on the Town. Or have I got that wrong?
Oh, Frogmorton Cellar. I would say, as much as I like Frogmorton Cellar, it would be a tough decision. If I was told you could only have one of these two, but you can have a lifetime supply of either one, I probably would choose the Merry Monk. And I really like Frogmorton Cellar, but it would be a hard decision, but I like Merry Monk that much.
Yeah, I have to mention the elephant in the room right now, David. What are you cuddling there? Oh, it's a dog. I could only see the ear. I didn't know it was a rabbit. Oh,
Yeah, Penny. This is Penny, and
Penny.
I had to pick her up for a minute.
Oh, great stuff. Oh, hey, Ron, you say you've got a dog again.
No,
No.
we're just not where we could take care of a dog.
Oh, sorry.
We're at a stage of life with our health where we just can't take care of a dog.
Right.
Or we don't want to chance it.
No, I understand.
Life's much less complicated without a dog. But I sure do miss her.
Oh, well, I can concur with as another person who enjoys the dogging. Yeah.
We get to babysit the grand dogs.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
And we get reminded why we don't want a dog.
Not granddogs, but grandchildren are just leaving now with the dad. So if you'll excuse me, I'm just going to say goodbye to them all along. You still there?
Now, Professor, you can get the Billy Bud in the bulk, so you know how to order 1 ounce at a time.
Yeah, I might order a couple ounces of it and just give it a shot. But
I do one called
you're scaring me off with the room though.
they do one called Billy Bud Blonde, which hasn't got the cigar leaf in it. Normal one's got cigar leaf in, and the blonde hasn't. But I've only had the one with a cigar leaf. I thought that was all right. So.
Not quite as cold across the southeast corner here. There will be more cloud. Showers perhaps sprayed in the south, and where it can be quite windy, but further north and west, largely dry. Some spells.
I've not really gotten into the cigar leaf pipe tobacco. I like my cigars, but I don't know. I just a lot of times the cigar leaf pipe tobacco is not that. I don't know. I just don't enjoy it as much.
Mm.
But it's going to turn really very windy indeed. So across southern England, South Wales, the strength of the wind will insulate that coast. So further north, where the winds are lighter, there'll be some mist and fog which will linger.
Yeah, usually I can only join you guys on my morning break, but I'm off. I'm off today, so I'm able to sit in on more of the Zoom call, which I'm very happy to do.
Yeah, I noticed that you being at home, so that's good.
Yeah. In about a year and a half, I'll be retired, so I hope to be able to drop in more often.
Yeah, well, it's great having you with us today. So.
Thank you.
You will find with retirement, you will wonder, how in the world did I ever get anything done while I was working?
Yeah.
Because
Well, I think my father, he said the first few years he was busier after retiring than he was when he was working.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I plan on waiting a little bit longer. I'll be 62 in March of next year, and I plan on working longer, but I don't know. Started thinking about it and thought, well, I've got 6 grandbabies, and if I start doing the early retirement, Social Security, sooner you actually make more in the long run than if you wait till you're, say, 67. So I thought, might as well go for it.
Oh, I mean, I'll say I'll say with my dad, he retired earlier too, and I don't think he ever regretted that at all, because you get to do so much more, and you think if you wait till you're a little older, you're not able to do as much.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and how many people do you know who pass away almost right after they retire? And it's like, really, was that worth it?
Yeah, right.
So enjoy life and be able to travel, because you're only going to have a small window to really even be able to get out and travel.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure I'll stay busy.
Yeah,
I have a lot of things that I want to do, so it'll be nice. And my wife's a first grade teacher. She has about 6 years left to go. She's not going to the minute I retire, she won't stop rubbing that in. But I'm looking forward to being able to kind of help her sometimes, and at my leisure, go to her classroom, read some stories and all that, and do other fun things. So it'll be nice.
Well, I changed pipes and tobaccos. I'm smoking some Distinguished Gentleman.
Oh, nice.
And it is still available. This one's though an old one. I got this one from oh goodness, now his name's gonna leave me, Pipe Stud. So I got this some time back, and there's a big container of it. So I've been smoking away on this one for a while. But this is a Burley Cavendish, Latakia, and Virginia. So it's kind of hitting all the things I enjoy.
Very nice. I have a sample of that coming in the mail. Actually, a friend of mine is sending me a sample, so I hope to like it and buy some more.
Yeah, I don't smoke this all the time. It probably been about maybe 5 or 6 months since I smoked some, and I pulled it out last night and smoked a bowl, and it was still out. So I thought, well, I'll smoke another one today.
Yeah, good idea.
So it's just got a different flavor to it. And that's what I like, is just, pulling out something that I hadn't smoked for a while and, enjoying it.
Yeah. I haven't bought a lot of big amounts of tobacco, but I did order a pound of pirate cake about 6 months ago, just for that reason, because it was so much different than everything else I tried. So I enjoy it. So good stuff.
Well, if you hadn't got some Merry Monk, that's something you definitely need to branch out and get.
I will have to check some of that out too.
And I think the only place, there may be other places, but I think Smoking Pipes is the only place you can really pick it up at.
Okay. I'll have to add that to my shopping cart, my ever-growing shopping cart.
Is that the one where the wheels are buckling on?
Malcolm Gate had released a video last night, and oh, what date is it today? Yeah, well, it was on the 3rd of January. It was J.R.R. Tolkien's birthday, and apparently, because he's one of the world's renowned people about knowing about and writing about Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, and he was smoking the Peterson, coming back to Sterling, Professor Pipe, which is one of the Sherlock Holmes series. I haven't got it, but apparently that was a nickname for Tolkien, the Professor. So on his on his birthday, they raise a dram and to the Professor. So that he said it was a day late because he did it yesterday. But yes, it was, and the pity he wasn't smoking. Well, I think it was Capstan Blue. Tolkien used to smoke, and apparently 3 nuns.
Okay. He smoked Players Navy Cup, the blue one.
That's what I'm saying. Capstan Blue Players. Yeah. But I'm talking about writers. That book that Professor sent me, George Simenon wrote the Maigret series, amongst other things. He smoked Royal Yacht, Dave. You were mentioning Royal Yacht. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
And I'm interested in these tobaccos that the authors used to smoke. There's a couple that escape me at the moment. And other pipe smokers, like we mentioned with Jack Hargreaves and Alfred Wainwright. He was another 3 nuns, but he was the Empire Blend. But again, I'm just saying this new or more recent 3 nuns does not have Perique in it. But back in the day, I remember Perique. But apparently that's when it was produced in Glasgow. And then at some stage, the Perique was replaced by a Kentucky leaf. Well, there you go. So I'm full of useless information. But it was we had a great fellowship with Malcolm Gate, didn't we, on the Pith Helmet matinee?
We did.
We just kept lighting the touch paper, and he just coming out with all this information about. He loves his Peterson pipes. He loves his Peterson tobaccos. Some of the stories were marvelous. So I don't hear anywhere else. I've seen him being interviewed, if that's the right word. We were just sharing fellowship. And it was more about pipes and pipe smokers. We did talk about Tolkien and the pub where they used to meet in Oxford, the Eagle and Child, which is now they called it the Bird and Baby. But at the moment, Chris, I believe that pub is shut.
It's been bought by someone else, and they're sort of doing it up. I don't know whether they're going to change it. I hope not.
But well, I hope that they can retain some of its atmosphere. But apparently, back when the Inklings used to gather there, at some stage it got a little bit too much for them, and they started going over to a pub opposite called the Flag and Lamb, or Lamb and Flag.
Lamb and Flag.
Lamb and Flag, yeah, and that's still going strong in Oxford. Yeah. Do you ever get
that shut for a while? But yeah, I used to drink in both of those.
Oh, brilliant! Unfortunately, you can't smoke our pipes now, can we? That's the thing.
No,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's the craziest thing, is that you couldn't smoke your pipes there.
Well, I mean, sorry.
Backcountry Pipe said that he recently finished an order of 10 of 3 nuns with Perique. And said it was a real treat. So
can you ask? Was that the non-nicer?
Is it none nicer?
Yeah.
they put that on all their tins, I think.
Oh, did they?
He said he's not tried the McBaron version, so that must be the difference.
Well, apparently they've replaced the Perique with Kentucky. But Alfred Wainwright smoked the Empire blend, which was in a beige tin, and I don't think that's available now. But again, I think it was the very same recipe, but where you got three nuns, non nicer, I think would be a ready rubbed, Chris. The Empire blend was discs or coins. They called them discs. And I had a tin, which I resurrected. I did these mystery tobaccos. And I did rehydrate it with tap water, would you believe? And it smoked like a gem. It was absolutely brilliant. But apparently, for the non-nicer, they actually cut the rolls up, and so you had it as a ready rub. But according to the Empire blend, there was a little leaflet in the tin I had, and it says was to pack your pipe with the discs, as they call it, and then the one on top, tease it, and that would be the best way to enjoy your coin or disc tobacco.
Yeah.
So how do you tease it?
I thought I'm going to smoke you. That seemed to do the trick. No, yes, I am.
Which bowl did you put on your one, Steve?
At the moment, I've got the Dover Rusty. Oh, crikey, I've got
Is
the
that the same?
It looks it, yes, sir. Yes. Yours looks a little bit more loved than mine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And the
what-
other one, I thought I saw Jack Hargreaves smoking that, but I also got the Algerian bowl. Oh, God. Crikey. I don't know if I can put any light on it.
Sterling said that he believed that Three Nuns Green has Perique in it.
Right. Well, I haven't tried that. I think is that one of the.
They brought it back recently, didn't they? Or something?
I was going to say, last 3 years or so, they brought out like an orange, a green, and something else, and they all had a different recipe.
So, well, it's sort of like the squadron leader green tin is the Perique. Now, have you ever smoked any of that, Steve?
No.
Yeah. I've still got it.
But you haven't broke it open yet, right?
No.
Yeah, I still haven't. I gotta open up. I have, because you have 10 number 2, I have 10 number 3, but I do have another higher number 10, and I need to just break that one open and divide it between us because it's just too hard. I don't want to open up 10 number 3.
I will open that at some stage when the time's right. When it's there. I was almost open it because I don't have a cellar, so I don't keep tobacco. I smoke it.
Yeah.
I don't have a cellar. I just generally just wait on the day, and I might see one of yourselves smoke. I don't know about Billy Budd though, Ron. Don't think I'll be venturing down there. It's got a great name to it. Who's the company that produces it? Cornell and Deal.
It's Cornell and Deal.
Yeah. It's a what? Do you know what Marmite is?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think it's a kind of Marmite kind of label, isn't it? You either love it or you don't necessarily love it.
Probably.
So I don't get it.
Fortunately, said I've only had that reaction one time when I left the room and came back.
Right.
The other time said, "Oh, that smells quite nice."
All right. Well, that's okay. I'm going to say the shares in Cornell and Deal was just plummeting. It might be just going back. It may have just rescued it there, Ron. Might just be coming back up. Especially with bought a pound of it.
I think it may have been going outside in crisp night air and then coming back inside.
Yeah.
But I don't miss going out in the rain and take her outside and then she just stands there. But I just want to go outside.
That's true, right?
Oh, Molly's just been up to see me. She lay down here. She's gone back downstairs now, but she's not what we call a laplander, Dave. She doesn't jump on the lap. But if I'm on a chair, she'll crawl along the back and lie behind my neck.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's clever.
Well, she's a working dog, and when she was a pup, oh, isn't she cute? You know, jumping from one chair to another. Isn't she cute? Well, here she is now, nearly 7, and she's still doing it. So we're used to. She's trained us well.
Oh, that's very good. Yes, they do that.
She doesn't go far from me, but she's shot
what I'm on now.
downstairs. So... Well, there you go.
All dark, strong Kentucky.
Right.
Nice.
When we were talking to Eric Stokeby, one of his favourite tobaccos was Orlick. And is it the Golden Slice? I don't know. Give me some names. Can you remember, Professor?
Might have been the Golden Slice. I have to go back and watch it again, but
yeah. I think his son's involved with Orlick, though, isn't he?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if he's involved with them now or not. I haven't seen from him.
Orlick stopped doing this one.
Right.
But Eric Stokeby does a version, dark, strong Kentucky. Apparently, it's not quite the same, but it's close. Yeah, I got a tin of it. This is probably the same tin, but
Well, maybe his son's gone.
And really enjoyed it. And that week I got the tin, they announced they weren't making it anymore. I've had a refill from Leo.
So, Chris, I have a question for you. So, about how many bowls a day do you smoke?
About 2 or 3 normally.
Okay.
Not overly much. It depends, you know. If I'm on a Zoom meeting for a while, but yeah, I mean, Wednesdays and Sundays I tend to do a Zoom meeting with the Australians in the morning, then a Zoom meeting with Ron and the Europeans at night. So
Ron, how many bowls are you at a day?
Sometimes, like Tree said, during the Zooms, it adds up. But it's 5 or more. But they can be these old cars that you can smoke pretty quickly, which I like this because I smoke one blend and then I grab another blend, smoke a different blend and just switch around. So I'd like a merry-go-round with different burls with my coffee.
yeah,
I do like small
big
size
bowl,
bowls just for that reason.
And Dave, where are you at? About how many bowls a day are you smoking?
Probably smoke a couple. I usually get up about 5 a.m., smoke a bowl with my coffee, and then I'll try to smoke a bowl on the way to work and want the same bowl at breaks. So probably a couple of bowls, except on Thursdays. I work from home, and gosh, on Thursdays I'll probably smoke 5 or 6. But I have to open all the windows and air out the house before my wife gets home, so as not to be banned from smoking inside. Actually, she claims that she told me I shouldn't be smoking inside at all, but I thought we had an agreement, but it's kind of iffy right now. So yeah, more on Thursdays, and on the weekends I usually smoke a few more.
So well done, Professor. You've just created a domestic situation there now. We just call him a homebreaker. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you put your foot down, Dave. You know.
I'm gonna try.
Get some of that Billy Blood. Get some of that Billy Blood. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Just
definitely
blame
not.
it on the dog.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
She thinks all my tobacco smells like figs. Anyway, I always ask her what she thinks, and she always says it just smells like figs. So everything I smoke apparently to her smells like figs. So it could be worse.
You just
But
want
I
to get a
definitely-
dish of figs and leave them around. It's not,
Yeah,
just the
that's
figs.
right. Yeah. So yeah, Billy Budd probably won't make it into my rotation. I think Billy Budd sales are going to plummet after a conversation.
Mhm. Even the dog will shun you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Oh no. Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
What you need is some of this to cover up the smell.
Oh, what is that? Tobacco original. Huh.
Tobacco
Nice.
aftershave.
Oh, I may have to get some of that.
Yeah. I think Avon used to do it. I'm not sure.
Whatever it takes.
This is good.
It smells
Tell
horrible.
the Febreze air, the wood is really nice,
That's good to know.
and
Yeah,
it mixes well with pipe tobacco.
okay.
Ah.
The flowery
Good to
rose
know.
petals and
Well,
whatever.
I use the Febreze Mediterranean lavender, and it's got a nice fragrance.
Yeah,
My
I
wife
may have to
hates
purchase
lavender.
those things.
Or you can get dirt pipe aftershave.
Oh, wow. I like
What
those.
year is that, Chris? The 1940s?
Oh,
Well, what used to be.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow. Oh, I like it. Wow.
he
Kinda
ran
remi-
out of that a long time ago, and that's why I stopped shaving. Is because he didn't have any more aftershave.
Yeah. No, this is actually fun. I've never used it. God awful smell.
It's got a great presentation, though. That can
Yeah.
take-
I think that was an Avon one.
It probably smells of
Avon.
probably smells of sweaty clogs.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of thing.
So, Steve, you're kind of back and forth. You might go a few days and not smoke, and then go a few days and smoke several bowls, don't you?
Exactly right. I probably won't smoke Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then when the kids have gone home on a Friday, it's like I'm coming down. So I start, to light a bowl then. And then I'll probably have a couple on the Saturday, maybe 3 on the Sunday. And then I just don't, I've got so much on my mind. I'm not actually sitting down and relaxing. Maybe during the summer, if I'm out gardening, I'll have a pipe during the week. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. Maybe average a couple of a day. But again,
I figured you always smoked one on your recce, but I guess not.
on my recce, when I go out filming, I don't
Yeah.
do a lot of films.
I'm down to one bowl a day.
Yeah, there you go. That's a crack of that. I've
I have a
never
funny-
seen anything like that.
No.
Never.
I have kind of a funny story here. My Zoom name, Central Cal Piper, my church, I have a small church, so I'm on a couple of boards because they don't have a lot of people. But anyway, we had a board meeting a couple of weeks ago, a Zoom meeting, and when my profile came up, now my church, it used to be no smoking, no playing cards, no going to shows. So they've gotten away from that. But when I logged into the Zoom meeting for the board meeting, my profile was Central Cal Piper, and it had a picture of me with my pipe, just like the one you guys saw earlier. So I immediately shut down the profile because I was, they weren't expecting that. So anyway, I had to go back on, and my screen name was still Central Cal Piper throughout the whole board meeting. And my pastor kept saying, "Who's this Central Cal Piper person?" So I had to talk to my pastor and say, he said that's fine and all, but I felt pretty awkward because my church used to be really anti all those fun things, smoking, playing cards and all that. But anyway, that was kind of funny. It brought out the 12-year-old in me trying to hide pipe smoking.
Dave, you can use that estranged twin brother, Michael. You can have that for free. And it was not me, it was the other two. And the other thing is Native American Indian, going back to when they smoked pipes, and it wasn't a peace pipe, it was a pipe of peace. And when they passed it round, if you were having bad thoughts, if you're evil, that would go up in the smoke to the creator.
Ah.
So they, going back to beliefs, it's all part of their belief system. So you could become a red Indian.
That's true.
Sorry, native Indian.
Oh,
Native. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what's wrong with that at all. I don't know.
I don't either.
Backcountry Pipe asked me how many bowls I enjoy. I would say at least 3 a day. But if it's a nice, quiet, peaceful day, I'm here at the house working. It'd probably be about 5
20.
to 6 bowls and 1 cigar. So,
cigar. Oh, yeah. Well, that's
most days I get at least 1 cigar in. That's kind of my
very good.
typical.
That's designed for cigars then.
Cigar number.
You got quite a collection there. I'm impressed.
Oh, Tree's got us all beat, I think.
Yeah.
One of those.
He's like an iceberg. You've only seen just the tip. The rest of it is down below where you can't.
Yeah, I'm saying nothing.
Vast hoard of pipes.
Can't even give me a yellow card for that.
About to get a red card.
No. Talking of red cards, where's Preacher Man Piper? How is he?
I hadn't heard from him, but maybe Ron knows.
Last I heard, well, I haven't heard anything since you talked to him, I believe.
Really?
And he was started to write his book.
Well, I need
Well,
to check.
he's got,
I've been on a few of the lives and said hello. So he's still around, but he had surgery, some kind of surgery, and I haven't heard from him since.
well, I'm glad he's writing his book. There's some wonderful stories he came up with in some of the videos he did going back a couple of years.
Yeah.
And one was almost, it was called the Y Church, and I wouldn't even try to describe it to you, but what a story. What a story, the Y Church. When you speak to next, Ron, ask him about the Y. He'll probably say, don't remember, but he's in there, it's in his repertoire. Yeah, that, and also when he was in Germany, when he got arrested for turning cats over. But we won't mention that.
I think I've been past where they had where he called the Y Church, that intersection.
Oh yeah, you know the story.
Hmm?
You know the story.
Yes.
Wow.
And he told about that on one of his videos.
Yeah, and is that church there now? Because
I don't know. I was going to Prairie Grove to a Civil War reenactment at that time, and said I would drive past that intersection. The town was on the other direction.
it was almost a ghost story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if the church actually, you can't find it now for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know. But I haven't
But
been out there in years.
Well, it was run down. He came across these people by accident, didn't he? And he started preaching at the church, and it started getting full again. And yeah, he's got some tremendous stories. I didn't realize he hadn't finished writing the book, because I said, put me down for one. I'll be buying one once it's done. But I did suggest about getting a local college. You know, if it's part of, you know, a curriculum there, that someone could come and he can tell the stories and they can write it down and then do the word proofing and put it all together. You know, that's what I suggested to him. But, you know, poor chap's been going through quite a few challenges, hasn't he?
Well, I mean, they could even use his videos that he's done to put together part of the book.
I don't know if he's making a book on theology or if it's on his life.
Well, if it's on his life, it's going to be a thick book.
Mm. I hope there's pictures. Or at least drawings.
Mm.
But a lot of the time in these stories, your own imagination sort of increases the intensity of the, you know, the emotions of the story.
Mm. Yeah.
But I've been past. He talked to one of the stories is about the angels that appeared standing over the bridge and pushed the car aside. And said, I asked him which bridge it was, and oh well, at that time he just couldn't remember which bridge it was. But I've been out through that area several times, out by McAllister, Oklahoma.
Well, it was a warning, wasn't it? If I remember the story, these angels came as a warning. No.
Well, I think the truck was coming straight at him, and the angels pushed the truck aside. And then it hit the bridge, I think.
Did he describe them as lights? Did he? I'm a bit vague now.
It seems to me he said it was like a physical being that stood over the bridge, like giants. And it was a pair of them. And then a highway patrolman was following him, and he saw them too. And he just found it unbelievable what that they saw the same thing.
Well, as you say, they're all there, and if they could be used as a transcript to put something together, that would be marvelous.
Oh, that'd be marvelous, yeah.
Dave, you didn't have a relative used to drive trains. You remind me so much of Davy Jones. Remember Davy Jones going down the track? Maybe you're too young. Remember Davy? The railway?
Yeah.
Oh, I know the story of Davy Jones and the song.
You just lean, like you used to lean out the cab, but I don't think he smoked a pipe, unfortunately.
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Casey Jones, yeah.
Casey Jones, yes.
You used to have did he have a striped, like, overall type thing on there?
That's right. I remember that.
You see, this opens up a can of worms now with Rin Tin Tin, Cisco Kid, Roy Rogers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lone Ranger and Tonto. He was brilliant, Tonto, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
I can see now, he said, what is it, Tonto? He said, he put his head to the ground. He says, 40 horse. 40 horse? Yeah. Coming this way.
Gay Silverheels is real name.
Yeah, that's right. And he says, they're all Sioux Indian. And Lone Ranger said, what are we going to do, Tonto? He says, what you mean, we, paleface?
Yeah.
Well, guys, my wife is beckoning me to come back inside, so I guess I better.
Oh, come and smoke that pipe inside, Dave. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait inside with your pipe.
Now.
Yeah, and wave from the window to us while you're smoking your pipe. Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
I mean, just get some vanilla custard and you can smoke
Yeah.
that in the house for sure.
That's
Yeah.
I do have some of that actually, so I might give
Or
that a
Cage Cove Cavendish. Those are always allowed in the home.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot. If you guys don't see me again, you'll know what happened.
No, don't, Dave, don't. I was only joking. Professor's
I-
gone.
A
Way
lit
too.
candle helps a lot for some
What was
reason.
that, Ron?
A lit candle helps a lot for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, especially a smoker's candle. I used to have a few of those in the house, but I now that I'm in my office, I don't really worry about it, and it's fine. So,
Well, you guys have a nice weekend, okay? And I will
all right,
catch up.
Oh,
with you
crikey,
later.
yeah.
and we'll be back the first of the next month. So,
Sounds good.
I was going to get the date here. That'll be, I guess, February the 2nd.
Okay. Well, I'll see you on my break.
All right.
Dave, great to see you. Give our regards to Michael.
I sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time I see him, I will.
Yeah.
Just tell
Right.
the work that you need February the 2nd off.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I might have to do that. You guys take care.
All right.
See you, Dave.
All right.
Bye.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
So there's another happy marriage you've broken up, Professor. You're supposed to be marrying people, not splitting them up. No. He's a good chap, isn't he?
Mhm.
So then there were four.
I just texted with Doc, and he said he's doing good and healing up. So his wife said he's probably a few months out from being back. So,
We'll give him our regards, Professor.
we'll do.
Yeah.
So he answered back pretty quick.
So, Chris, Oxford, the Trout Inn, is that far from you?
Yeah, it's probably about 5 miles from where I am. I suppose that isn't that far.
What's the water outside? If it was Phil now, he'd tell me it was the Thames, but it's a tributary, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's thing is that the Thames is called the Isis when it comes through Oxford.
Mhm.
But I'm not 100% sure.
But it's one of those places, and again, it was a TV series, wasn't it, with Morse?
Yeah.
And he loved this pint, didn't he? And
Yeah.
it was filmed in several pubs, including that. So I surmise they get a lot of tourists there, do they?
Yeah. Yeah. Trouble is, in Morse, he'd walk down an alleyway and come out at the pub. And it's miles away from me.
Yeah, there's no the continuity. Yeah, well, there's one called. Is it the Turf?
Turf Tavern, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a good pub.
Is that on the tourist trap or not? Because that's down a little alley.
Yeah. Basically, you've seen the bridge, what they call the bridge of size.
Oh
The
yes,
The
At the
Oxford
ca-
version.
at
I'll
the
be right
university.
If you go under there, the alleyway, you barely see it. And it's just on the left. And you go down that alleyway and you're there in the pub.
Hmm.
It's in the middle of the colleges. So there's no actual road.
Yeah.
That,
The thing, you can't park. They have to shanks his pony. But the one thing
Yeah.
I've seen about a lot of these, let's say on the tourist track, is that the beers in there are weird. They're like made out of lemons and things. It's not traditional bitters. But I think is it Green King? They have a lot of the pubs there now, don't? Is it Green King?
yeah. But they do a lot of real ales in a lot of the pubs like that in Oxford.
Hmm.
I haven't been drinking in Oxford for years.
No,
I can't afford it.
no, it is quite extortionate for a pint of bitter
Oh.
now, isn't it?
It's got to
But
be 6-7 quid for a pint in Oxford.
wow, well, we're talking around just under a fiver at the moment.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. It's too long since I've been to a pub. But you know, I couldn't afford to drink like I used to.
Well, if I'm driving, I don't drink. You know, but here down, I've got the local pub. It's literally a 5-minute walk. I get a decent pint there as long as I've got the dog with me. If I haven't got the dog, they don't serve me. Seriously, go and get Molly. It's this. Go and get the dog.
Mm.
Although we're not allowed to take wet dogs in there if it's raining. So that's I don't take it down if it's wet.
Yeah.
It's a rare treat these days.
Well, I don't really bother anymore. I'm on
Well,
too
with
many.
us-
I'm on too
Sorry?
many tablets.
Too many what, Chris?
Tablets.
Oh, tablets. Yeah. Well, I'm probably well behind you on tablets, but the thing is with our pub here, it is a hub of the community, and you can go in there, and there's always going to be somebody, you get on. I mean, well, with. We're not talking about politics or anything like that. It's anything but,
Yeah.
Or just reminiscing.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky if I basically the bus stops about 200 yards up the road, so I can just walk up to the bus stop, get the bus into town, and get the same one back. Later on. So
Well, I've got to say, having a bus pass, when I got my first bus, oh, it's brilliant. It's not just totally relaxed. You don't have to worry about your car not being there or whatever. You just get on the bus and off you go.
I'd never drink and drive.
No, I don't. Well, it's my profession, so if I lost, like the 7th Cavalry, look after your horse. If you don't got your horse, you're out of a job.
Yeah.
And it was stupid. I was covering the country, Ireland, wherever. So, yeah, I never did. I was never even tempted, but I do enjoy a pint when I get a chance.
Mm. Yeah,
Have you heard from James lately, Chris?
no, he did a video about a month ago.
And he's got another job. He's up in, well, he did. We actually talked, we did some correspondence on the comments because I'd been doing some fly fishing up there, took some of my exams there back in the day at Ibrook Reservoir. And so we were talking about different places of interest. So I won't mention them on here, but because he's working around there now.
Mm. Yeah. No, and spoke to him for a while. No, Uncle Phil.
No.
Uncle Phil's off doing something else at the moment, I think.
He was doing reviews, I think.
He's been getting tattoos done and stuff. I haven't seen
Book
anything.
reviews, or is he
Sorry?
still doing book reviews?
No, he ain't put up a pipe video for a while.
Yeah, no,
He took all his down, actually.
Yeah.
I don't
He
know.
took his videos down.
Apparently.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He'll probably get back to it. He's finding his midlife crisis, I think, having tattoos done and
Yeah.
They're not cheap these days.
Well, I don't have tattoos and never wanted them, but people that have, it seems it's quite addictive. It's
Oh
like,
yeah,
yeah, it's like I'm going to get this.
yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah, but it is quite addictive, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Sort of crisis
Good.
you call that. Huh?
I was born to be a canvas.
Yep.
There was a young lady in the pub there, and she had this wonderful tattoo of a dragonfly. I mean, beautiful. And then a few weeks later, she had these vine leaves. So, and she was telling me, I said, less is more, you know. No, she enjoys it. So that's it.
Mm. Yeah, it is very addictive.
Oh, the sound
Look.
of the good.
I was lucky because I used to work there, help him out, and ended up doing body piercing. But I used to get most of my tattoos for nothing, you know. If it was a rainy day and there was no customers about, we go, oh, carry on with it, you know. Fill a bit in, you know, save us being bored.
Well, I've got to say, you get a good tattoo. It's the artistry that they do.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
What is that?
He did oil paintings as well. He was a proper artist, you know. The amount of oil paintings he used to do in his spare time.
I saw that one he did of Jimi Hendrix.
Mm.
Absolutely stunning.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, he did one of the Purple Haze sort of covers for someone.
The one where it's got him on the cover and it stutters like him in like colour, like a rainbow.
Mm.
Well, one of his albums, I think it's just called the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Boulder's Love. Boulder's Love, one of his albums.
Mm.
And the cover there was like a rainbow, I think.
Yeah, that's similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there is a rainbow. The one I'm talking about isn't a rainbow. If you see up there, oh, sorry, where I'm pointing now,
Yeah.
can you see that painting? Well,
Yeah.
you might remember Shane.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Very good friend. He was getting married in May. He painted that, and it is James Marshall Hendricks.
Yeah, he's moved to Wales, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Welshman now, living with his English Welsh lady. Well, she's very Welsh in as much if I say a name, she'll correct me. So it's V's and F to V. Until I found out she was actually born in Chester, which is England. So I don't. Oh, I said you do well for an English girl. So there you go. Oh, she's a lovely girl. Lovely girl. He's great couple together, actually.
Well, my mum's side of the family were Joneses. So they was originally from Wales.
Jones the coal or Jones the grocer?
Jones the farmer, I think.
Oh, Jones the farmer.
I don't know.
There's a lot of Evanses and Joneses in Wales, so it's obviously it always goes by the trade, you know.
Yeah, they never have to go back quite a few generations to find any of them who actually lived in Wales, because they all lived in Malvern, which is on the border. So
yeah, Is it the Mendips? Mendips Hills?
Malvern Hills.
Yeah, Malvern Hills. And then there's the Mendip and then the Clee Hills.
Ooh.
Mm. Too
Possibly.
far north for you.
Yeah. Well, we always used to go there 4 or 5 times a year, meet up. Or sometimes we'd meet up halfway in Orton on the Water.
Oh, that is a one gorgeous. It's the Cotswolds,
Yeah.
gentlemen, and it's made. The buildings are made out of almost golden stone, isn't it? Quarried stone, and
Yeah.
it's really picture book country. They made their money out of fleece, didn't they? Out of sheep back in the day. Historically, I think that's where all the money came from. But Bolton on the Water, literally, there's a stream, a brook, a burn runs through the village. There's lots of ducks there. I've never noticed there was fish in there, though. There probably
It's quite
is.
shallow, so you might get trout in there. I don't know.
Although in the winter they need to get deep.
It's no deeper than a foot.
Yeah.
Well, I recently found that the part of the family, my family, that I thought, and they probably did come from Scotland because it's a Scottish name, but they apparently came from Sheffield and left Sheffield sometime in the 1730s to come to America. So,
Well, Sheffield is known for steel making,
Yeah.
and it's in that wonderful county of Yorkshire. It's not as wonderful as Lancashire, but it's a wonderful county. I'm just so can upset people.
I
So
guess
from
you're about the same distance to Sheffield as you would be from Leeds, aren't you?
No,
About in
it
between the two?
depends. If I go up the motorway, it takes me an hour to get to Leeds from here. If I go across the Pennines perpendicular, maybe a bit more than an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
So when did the family leave Sheffield? What decade?
Well, about the 1730s.
Hmm.
I know he was born in 1712.
Hmm. Yeah, my history going back on that. So 1712, 1747. When was the uprising in Scotland? Was 1747? Oh, well, you missed that then.
Yeah.
So did they come down from
You can't pin that on us.
right? They weren't at Loch Shield, were they? What's the place where that concrete bridge is in? Where? Oh, crikey!
That was that. The name was Repentance Townsend.
Townsend.
Yeah.
Do you know? But the first thing that came to mind, and he probably had someone who knows surnames. I'm thinking more like Newcastle, Townsend, Wallsend. That's probably where it's coming from. But you know, there'll be some kind of meaning to the Townsend because you know it's like archers, and you know they all had a connotation of some kind of craft at some stage.
And each of his sons fought against the Redcoats.
Fought against the Redcoats.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they used to pick fights with everyone, the Redcoats.
Well, there's a brew over there called Joshua Tetley. It's probably, you know, fighting fluid that.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to do a bit of research of Sheffield in those days.
Yeah, that's as far as as far as I could go back. So, if we had somebody in Sheffield, we might go find, that's such a different name, Repentance Townsend, that it probably be easy to, find like his origins in Sheffield, but that's as far back as I could find or
Look,
trace.
that was his name, Repentance Townsend.
Repentance Townsend.
So it's got that religious connotation, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You probably find you've got some Danish genes in your DNA. They always out raping and pillaging that side of the country. We had them up here, coming up the Mersey. Yeah. Most of the, shall we say, homegrown people in the, what is now North Cheshire and Merseyside, the DNA is Scandinavian. There is Scandinavian in their DNA, I should say, to be more correct. Well, there you go. I'm enjoying this Senedale, Chris.
Yeah, I ain't had that for a while.
Mm.
Well, I changed to some country estate.
Mm. Is that under his true name or his batch? Because you did send me some country estate. I did enjoy it. It's a slower smoke, isn't it? I don't know what's in it.
Black Cordial Z50 is the bulk brand.
All right, so I had one called Cordial Friends.
Oh, Sterling, I kind of missed it. He said, I'm sorry, I haven't been looking up at the chat there. He said his family came from Bedford in 1625.
The Riveroos. In what year?
1625.
Yeah, I had Country Squires one called Cordial Friends. That was sort of like blackcurrant cordial sort of flavour. And the other one was what was it? Figs. I'm sure it was something to do with figs. Yeah, figgy pudding.
Sterling also wanted to know, do any of you guys have a favorable opinion of Mac Baron H.H. Rustica? And then said he'd be willing to trade someone for his. Apparently he didn't like it. That it was strong.
Yes.
Rising strong. I don't think I've tried any of it. I've seen it, but I've not tried it.
I haven't, but
Oh yeah, it kicked my ass.
Chris about Eldritch Pipes, I think he did a review on it some years ago. I think it's one he did like, actually. I think I could be totally wrong there, but he does like. Is there a Latakia in it, Sterling? Or Latakia?
No, I think it's just the actual Rustica, which is the type of tobacco plant.
All right.
Nicotinus rustica or something like that.
Yeah, it's stout.
It's what?
It's pretty stout.
Sterling said it kicked his as well.
Well, Sterling, can you answer me this? The nicotine, the main nicotine is in the stalk, is it not? In the tobacco plant. He's going to tell me different now, and hopefully he'll correct me if I'm wrong. The stalk in the leaf. Sorry. Oh, was it? How far off am I?
It's just the number to do when you're ready.
He said Rustica is a different variation of tobacco, which is what the natives had in North America. And then he said true, I guess, to your question, Steve.
All right. Well, I can't take full credit for that, but I thought it was Bob Gregory, formerly of Samuel Gowerth, that told me that. When, that's where the key element is for tobacco, for nicotine. And I think there's quite a lot of collusion between Bob and Eric Stokeby. I think, when they were talking to each other, talking to us about each other, I think there's a lot of respect there. And I think Samuel Gowith did do some work or produce some blends for Eric at some stage, and maybe vice versa.
Mm.
Well, I've just had the curly finger off Mrs. Three Rivers to say my tea's nearly ready. So, gentlemen, I'm going to...
We've been going for 2 straight hours, so I think it's
Oh, right, what a shame. I could bring the tea up if you want.
I have a bit of work I need to do myself. I still got to get to the post before they close today.
Oh, yeah.
I looked outside and snow's melted now.
I got an unopened tin here. I ain't got round to opening, so I got too much house open.
Yeah, well, Sterling's not had any takers on this, has he?
It's good stuff.
Yeah, right now it sounds like nobody's jumping on that one.
So shares are going down on that. Shares are going down on Billy Bob. Oh dear. Happy days. Well, gentlemen, I do apologize. I'm going to have to dip out, and I'll see you all again, if not before, on the 4th of February.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no. February the 2nd.
Oh, 2nd. There you go. I would have missed you then.
That's actually Groundhog Day.
Oh,
So what is it?
It will be
Tony Phil.
Groundhog Day, Falcon Friday.
Is that
Groundhog Day?
Tony Phil?
We may get trapped in it. We may just relive that Falcon Friday over and over and over.
Until we get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's make it a good one.
No red cards.
No red cards. Well, we didn't get any today. No yellows, no reds. I couldn't quite easily go. Gentlemen, thank you for your fellowship, and Professor, thank you for hosting our gathering today. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Bye, gentlemen. Take care.
Morning, gentlemen. So we'll be signing off. Thanks for everybody that joined us in the chat, and hope that y'all have a good weekend.
thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Till next time. Cheers.
Bye.
Ta-ta.